No one goes to it too. You can just walk around it
That's
all day long and not
fascinating.
bump into anybody. It's pretty intense.
I'd be paranoid about like just the volcano exploding, but what are the odds, right? Like that'd be an epic opportunity to explore. And yeah, in Hawaii there's all sorts of massive megalithic ruins and even some pyramids. Shout out to Third Phase of the Moon, Blake and Brent Cousins that live out in Hawaii. Recently, they've gone out and boots on the ground showed a couple of megalithic pyramids that haven't really been shown on film before in Hawaii, as well as some other megalithic ruins that were overgrown in one of, I think, the main island there. But absolute tragedy what's happened there. Apparently over 1,000 dead, but they're not confirming that. They're only claiming 100 with 1,000 missing, which is an absolute just beyond tragedy, but ridiculousness. Anyways, won't go into that. Back to the megaliths, and that there was a comment there saying that because of the fires, there was now exposed these ancient stone cut ruins or city drainage or something like that. Did I hear that right?
I think no, in Waimea there's like these rocks. Bring it up in the thing.
All right, hold on. Before we move off this island, I knew this shit sounded familiar.
Right.
So from this Bering's Voyages book, I don't know if you guys can see it.
See it, yeah.
This was reprinted in 1935.
Sorry, can you hold it up one more time, brother?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So Bering was Russian, you said.
Yeah, and he was like, the mainstream explorer who discovered all this shit. The Bering Sea is named after him, obviously. The Bering Strait, which is the fucking strait between Russia and Alaska, is named after him. And so this is chapter 1. And it's just called The Geographical Knowledge of the North Pacific Ocean at the Beginning of the 18th Century. In the second paragraph, it goes, there are many reasons for believing that the islands or the continent, there are many reasons for believing the islands or continent were to be found in that northern region. So basically, like, the whole premise of him exploring was like, they knew all these lands were out there, and it was just a matter of finding them, sailing and finding them, basically.
They were being sent on a mission because it was like they were seeing these ancient maps showing these places, and they're like, okay, Now go confirm and explore that they're there for us.
Yeah, and so, dude, it gets so when the Jesuits came to Japan in the middle of the 16th century, they learned that north of Japan proper, there's a body of land called Yezo, but they could not fully inform themselves as to its shape and its size. A somewhat similar report reached Europe from another quarter. Richard Cox, an English merchant in Japan, in a letter written in 1611, made mention of an island called Yezdo, which is thought to be rather some part of the continent Tartaria.
Interesting.
But this was not the only vague information cartographers had to go on. What's the other part? I forget, but yes, and so I think this island is what I think this is Yezdo, what they're talking about.
It's interesting. Yeah, I wonder if it is.
I think that might be one of the
Fascinating.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've looked at it, but there's not that much like I can remember finding on it. I think this is something different, yeah.
Oh, sorry. I meant to put it back to the.
Yeah, you can get off of mine.
There we go. I was trying to put it back to Google Earth, but I guess all good.
We can go back. We can go back to it.
Yeah. Did you guys want to also look at
Oh yeah, what was
Hawaii
the
there.
other one you're pulling up? Hawaii, yeah.
That like rock, that cut rock thing. I think Shem has it in the private chat, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was just I don't even really know what it was, but there seemed to be like a gravestone in the wall. Someone in the chat was talking about it.
So it's like rocks that are like perfectly cut,
Here,
smooth and
let me
stuff.
grab it.
I'm looking at that now, but there's also water below it. That could be. Oh yeah, it's actually the water below the stone, the flowing. It's not actually a pond. It's a waterway, and then it's actually along a road as well in the picture below it. Here, bring that up. Here we go. So it's actually a couple of pictures. It starts with this one with this plaque, but it's actually this water that's relevant here. It's a stream, but it's actually irrigation, and it's really ancient, and it continues along and apparently goes along the whole town here, and even goes through the volcano or the mountain itself. And it's showing these cuts, these 90 degree, 90 degree, 90 degree perfect engineering. I believe those are Tesla valves or another way of hydraulics that keeps the water at a steady flow rate throughout, and that this is also seen in Peru, Bolivia, throughout South America, in the Andes, in their megalithic, macro megalithic areas, especially the famous underground aquifers that go through and under the whole Nazca lines through the Nazca desert there. They actually run from the Andes and in the mountains of the Andes, the headwaters of the aquifers there that are acknowledged to be ancient, megalithic, and macro, built by this lost ancient civilization, having the same features of this 90 degree, so square, rectangle, square, hydraulic feature of flow rate within these aquifer canal, or what would it be called? The what are the Roman ones called? The
Aqueduct?
aqueducts.
Viaduct.
Yeah, essentially an aqueduct because it's going under, as well as canalish. Yeah, they're like mini canals as well, essentially for agriculture, irrigation, and just evidence that they're everywhere, including Hawaii here, where anywhere there's signs of this past megalithic, ancient, probably pre-cataclysm master builder civilization, you see the exact same super advanced features built into everything. And here's another example of one still remaining in Hawaii, and that these are found throughout all of macro and micro Polynesia, as well as most likely Easter Island, I believe, as well. And
Yeah,
He's wearing a blue hat, huh?
good show.
Nice,
and blue sneakers, sneaking the blue.
And he's got that
Safe
tie
from
dye
it.
on. He's like a real.
He's safe from the fire, then,
Real-
right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Did you see that shit?
Yeah. It's kind of weird.
Illuminati confirms.
But yeah, they keep the native sites on Hawaii's island to like extremely secret. I was looking into it in the past. I couldn't find much information about what I was looking for. The book was only available at like 1 or 2 universities in Hawaii. Couldn't even buy it online.
They got to digitize that immediately if it didn't just get burnt before they try burning it all down. My God. That's what's so great about the internet though now, and all these digital cloud archives. What are we looking at here, good Elkman, sir?
So we're looking at a map of the Dominion of Canada, province of Ontario. published by GW and CB Colt & Co. in New York. It's an atlas map, and I'll post a link to it in Rumsey in the chat. I've added stuff to the one that we're seeing now, but I'll post one in the chat if I can find y'all guys again. But just one second. So this map, I was just going through an app I had on my phone. It was called like Old Maps or something, of just like where I was at, and I was looking at all the old StarFort locations on it, and where they were at were always pretty interesting. There was a 5. There's always like a 5 dotted circle, which I've overlaid with these yellow stars to make it easier to see.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll show y'all what they look. Oh, I got the wheelie ball.
Wheel of Death.
Yeah.
So this is a old map of Ontario that you have added a whole bunch of StarFort locations to?
So all I did was find, here's one of them that I haven't found. So if you see this, I don't know if you can see my mouse right here, but
Yes,
right
sir.
there in that section, there's a circle with 5 or 6 dots around it that I missed. So that's all I've done, is I've dotted all these with stars. And then I overlaid it over a map, and I found like a ton of interesting stuff. And there's a whole shitload I've missed. Like, I don't even know if this is the most updated map. I just pulled this one up because I had it, but like they're all over the place. And like, I'm suggesting that this is kind of like similar to the maps of Ohio with all the mounds and stuff, but it doesn't say in the legend what that symbol means anywhere. I've dug and dug.
Gotcha. These are potential mounds of Ontario and
Michigan.
Beautiful.
But yeah, there's a ton I've missed too, but yeah, I'll share this map with y'all, but that's just like a whole bunch. And like so some of the interesting things I've found at some of these locations, I'll pull it up, are things like this.
Oh my goodness, yes.
So this research I did a long time ago, so I'm not like super close to it, but Woodbine Beach is in Ontario. And as I was doing all this, like I was just doing it on my phone, so most of these locations are on this map. You'll find some stuff I have just added in here that I was interested in at the time, but it was all stemmed from this. So I'll just like tear through this. If you want to stop and talk about anything, I've researched probably most of these places, and I have ideas of Rat Island.
Right? What is Rat Island? And what is this giant?
Yeah.
Do explain or go into some detail. Like,
yeah, so basically on every single one of those stars on that map I just showed, I knew that there was always something, but it would always take me a while to look for it. And doing that on Google Earth, that was just something I saw. Doing that on Google Earth for a long time could be like really, really like tedious. So what my original plan was is so that it would be a website, so you'd hover over every one of these stars and it would bring up a picture of like what actually is there on Google Maps, which I assume is what we're looking at.
gotcha. This is epic.
This thing is something else. Yeah, like I've got documentation on this from the city that it's in, which is Hamilton, Ontario. I've shared it before.
And is that
Not the
another
first.
mound? Like, is that like a serpent and a couple of mounds? Like pyramid? What?
Yeah, and it went to it went to court.
This is
and
in
everything
Hamilton,
too.
Ontario.
Yeah,
I
at
might
the
have a
QEW in
StarFort
403.
map from there.
Yeah.
But you know,
Oh,
I'm just showing and telling. But some of the stuff I do know about. So the Hamilton one, right in that area, it's been to court, and they've just said since we have only found mounds in Rice Lake, they could not possibly exist here. Case closed. There's satellite
Yes, they
photos
do
and
everywhere.
everything. Yeah, I might be able to pull it up and share it later. I have shared it before, but it's got people's names in it and stuff, so I don't like sharing it. But if you search like Hamilton, Ontario, ruins and mounds, it possibly is the first thing that shows up, and it's a PDF document from them. Yeah, this is something.
What?
So this is also a shape I noticed.
Good, Elkman. My goodness, you're rewriting everything.
I'm not doing anything. I'm just showing and telling. You find these on like a lot of Indian reserves, and this shape in particular shows up all the time. It kind of looks like an eye to me. I don't know what it is, but like
potential
someone
geoglyph.
does.
Potential
Yeah,
geoglyph.
and this is the
well, look at that.
It's the
that definitely is.
It's like a turtle.
Yeah. And if you match them up with like the native
for sure. That's
the native. Yeah, and if you match it up with the native geoglyphs and symbols at the time, they're all the same too. Yeah.
Wow.
So this I found in an old book too. So
fascinating.
So Fort Wayne's a big one. It's a fort. I'm not sure what we're looking at here.
That looks like a potential one of the more rectangular pentagrammal StarFort styles. The Citadel ones that could have been the ruins of it or the base of one.
Yeah, and we got the turtle back here. This is like a new park that's been redone, but it still is there in the middle of industrial wasteland for a reason. This is just like some random shape in the middle of a field with some red abandoned building. This is in Hamilton too. It's called
look at that shell
Devil's.
rock.
Yeah, it's at the Devil's Punch Bowl. It's called. So it's like
Of
a
course,
big bowl.
they give it a demon name, right? Don't go here and explore.
Yeah, but this guy Shai Zhang took a good picture that kind of makes it to me look like it's a wall here, because it's a total straight line,
like megalithic wall.
straight. And a lot of these pictures that people take of these locations get deleted from Google Earth like really quick. So thank you for taking
like
pictures.
some melted brickwork down there. That's wow.
Yeah, so this was just like lining up those stars. This is the Devil's Punch Bowl.
WTF is that? Can you zoom in on that? Like, are you kidding me?
Is that a sinkhole?
Or
claiming that's a
could be a
geological
quarry.
feature.
A mine.
It's not a quarry.
It's a freaking building.
Oh, here we go.
Devil's Punch Bowl is a